Welcome back.
We want to invite you to dance with us.
Yes.
We dance the whole time as that song is playing.
We do.
It gets us excited for our lesson.
Even when we're tired.
Speaking of being tired, let's check in with our zones. Friends, how are you feeling today? Miss Oslin, how are you feeling?
I'm tired today. I've been able to focus for the most part, but then during our last lesson, I noticed I was making a lot of just silly mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because I'm tired and it's the end of our day.
It is the end of our day. I've been in the green zone all day until now.
Yes.
It's starting to catch up with me.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. But you know what we do when we get tired? Sit up straight, take a deep breath.
Increase the oxygen to the brain.
We can do hard things.
We can do hard things.
Mr. Kevin, how are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling just a little bit tired myself, so I'm going to sit up straight. And so there we go, sitting up straight.
There we go.
Very good.
Yes.
We've got this.
We got this.
First graders, we're excited to learn. Just because we're tired doesn't mean we're not excited.
Yes.
We are excited.
We're going to look at some really interesting things today.
I'm really excited to see your pictures. Mrs. Wally worked really hard getting some really special pictures.
I'm excited. Are you ready, friends? Before we begin, though, 3 personal standards.
Always.
Really important. You have to do these things in order to get the most out of this lesson. Show respect. Make good decisions. Solve problems.
We did this in our 2nd grade lesson, and I really enjoyed it. Let's take a moment to think about, first graders, what have you done that was a good decision
Ooh,
recently?
what have I done that was a good decision?
I've got one. You go ahead, Mrs. Wally.
Well, last night I packed my lunch before I went to bed so that when I got up in the morning, I had a healthy choice for lunch that was already ready for me to go, and I didn't have to decide to make a healthy lunch over grabbing the easier, unhealthy thing for lunch.
That is a good decision.
What about you?
Mine also was last night. I tend to stay up too late watching TV because that's like my me time.
Yeah,
but
me
last
too.
night I said, nope, turn off the light and go to bed. And I made the decision, and I felt much better this morning.
Well, that's good. Mr. Kevin, what about you? Sorry, I
Well-
totally cut you off, Miss
That's okay.
Oslin.
That's okay.
So Mrs. Medford and I moved a couch last night from one room to another. And as you may know, couches are very heavy. And so I got a little frustrated. And then I made a good decision because I apologized to Mrs. Medford before we went to bed. And that was good. That was a good decision.
That was a good
That is
decision.
a good decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
Taking responsibility for your actions.
That's
we all
right.
get frustrated.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't we?
We get
The red
frustrated
zone.
and we don't mean to take it out on others, but it happens.
It does. Even the kindest, most respectful people can sometimes get in the red zone.
Oh, are you ready for this? This is our phenomenon.
Oh, I'm so excited. Take 1 minute. What do you notice, wonder, or think?
There's a minute.
It's the same one that we did during our last lesson because as I was looking at this picture, I was noticing different things about it. What were you noticing or thinking?
I actually wondered if the eyeballs on the wings are the moth's eyes.
Oh, you didn't wonder that last time. Interesting.
What did you?
I was noticing the plants around the moth this time. And I was noticing how the moth is on the green part of that plant that's really long and skinny. And how it's kind of bent at the top.
Yeah.
And I wondered why. Yeah. And then I also was wondering or thinking about that the moth is not using camouflage to blend in with those plants.
Right, it's not. It's really mimicking another animal. It's really trying to look like something else. I also wonder where they are. Are they out in nature or are they like in a butterfly house?
Oh.
Because that moth is not moving. And normally when I get close to butterflies or moths, they fly away.
That's interesting.
Very interesting. So how do animals use their structures and elements to survive?
How is that moth using their structures and elements to survive?
We've talked about biomimicry, which is
copying each other to solve a problem.
Did you notice we had to think for a minute? We have 5 different words that we have to keep in our head every day.
We do.
So we had to kind of go into our memory and go, copying nature to solve a problem. So they're solving the problem, but then how do they use those structures and elements to survive?
Let's review some of the big science words that we've been learning this week.
Big science word.
You did it, Mr. Kevin.
We're so proud of you.
We learned biomimicry,
Copying nature to solve a problem.
We learned echolocation, the location of objects by reflected sound.
Like bats, how they find the moth to eat them.
And crustaceans, a type of animal typically living in water with a segmented body, a hard outer shell, and several pairs of legs.
Like the pill bug and how it rolls up to protect itself. We learned so much about that yesterday.
We did.
It's like an armor on its back.
It is. Oh, invertebrates. Did I say that correctly? Invertebrates. Let's all say that together. Invertebrates.
Let's do the syllables.
Okay.
Invertebrates. 4. Oh, there's that crazy R.
What might this word mean?
Invert. Inside out.
That's what I thought.
Inverted.
Inverted.
When you invert something, it means you turn it inside out.
Nope. Animals without a backbone or internal skeleton.
It's almost like you could think about it as the potato bug inverted its skeleton on the outside.
Wow!
It's like it took its structure from the inside, but it wears it on the outside. Where we use our structures to like stand up and move, they use their structures to protect them.
Interesting.
And the inside's just all soft and squishy.
Yeah.
They don't have bones on the inside like we do.
No.
Interesting.
An octopus and a spider are invertebrates.
Octopus. Think about how they can, I've watched some really amazing videos of octopus using that structure to survive and like get out of a boat with a tiny hole. This big octopus going through this little itty bitty tiny hole.
They can almost flow.
They can. It's like they become water almost. It's pretty amazing what they can do.
Ready for another big science word? Herbivores.
Herb. Like I put herbs on my salad. Makes it tasty.
Mrs. Wally and I are mind melding.
We are. It adds flavor. I didn't know it. She wrote on there. I didn't help you write that.
You didn't? I did that, yeah. Animals that only eat plants.
Well, herb is a plant, so that
Yes.
would make sense.
Yeah.
I wonder what vor means.
Oh.
I wonder if it means to eat.
Oh.
Maybe. We'll have to look that up. Or maybe Mr. Kevin can look it up while he's back there.
Yeah.
We are all on the same page. 'Cause
Are you already doing that?
Look at us
Herbivore, yes.
go. Deer and rabbits are herbivores. That means they don't eat meat.
Nope, just plants.
Just plants and seeds and nuts.
Ooh.
Photosynthesis.
I think we definitely need to clap the syllables in this one, or count them somehow.
Photosynthesis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Photo, like take a picture. Synthesis, to synthesize. So that means to like produce and understand.
I said taking a picture,
Okay.
because I heard that photo part as well. Photosynthesis is
Process.
the process, so synthesis, when green plants turn sunlight into food.
What?
Green plants.
They take the sunlight, the thing we can't even see, we can only feel, and they turn it into food?
Yes, through photosynthesis.
Is that why plants need sun?
That's why plants need sun, because it's how they eat. Oh, I get it.
We're gonna see a diagram about that in a minute.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Yes, Mr. Kevin?
Just back to herbivore.
Yes.
So the root word herbivora means a group of mammals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Must be a group of mammals that eat plants.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna have to do some more digging on that one.
So can herbivores only be mammals?
I don't know.
Is that what that means?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to research it, first graders, and find out. I'll tell you next time.
I need more information.
Me too. We're gonna have to research that
Yeah.
word next time.
And our sentence is, the plant eats through photosynthesis.
Love it. Well, we're going to read a book called The Important Thing About Plants and Animals. You're going to notice that there's a phrase that repeats over and over. And you're going to start to be able to read it with us. Normally, we would have a big book and we'd have this all on one page. But because we're on the screen, we have a PowerPoint that says the topic sentence, then our details, and then the concluding sentence. And we have pictures to go along with each interesting fact sentence. Are you ready, friends? Let's go. The important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways.
They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need.
Different plants and animals inhabit different kinds of environments or habitats around the world. Ooh, look at all those. Those are all very different.
Very different.
We've got like a waterfall in a rainforest. We have a temperate forest like we see in our mountains. We have underwater, up on a snowy mountain, in a desert, and in a savanna.
Wow.
And that's not even all of them.
No,
And I kind of want to go to all those places.
I kind of do too.
Oh, that looks lovely, doesn't it? Which one would you want to go and inhabit? That means to live in it. Which one would you choose, Miss Oslin?
I can't decide between the rainfall in the forest or the temperate forest. Either way, a forest of some sort.
I like a forest too. It provides the most shelter. I wouldn't want to go live in a desert. It'd be really hot and then really cold. Mr. Kevin, which one would you want to live in?
Oh, hands down, I would love to live in that bottom center picture, that forest scene.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It is. Looks
I could
like
just put myself there, chirping birds,
And we could observe
insects
all the
galore
nature.
that you can
Yeah.
explore.
yes.
Quiet. Ooh.
Plants and animals have special body parts, external structures, to help them do things. And this is a diagram of a horned beetle.
Oh wow.
And it has all the different things that it has in its structures, like inside and outside. But look at that outside. It's like this big shell that protects its inside. See all those things on the inside? It needs the big shell on the outside to protect it. And then it has that horn to help it do things.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
Animals have teeth for the function of eating, legs for the function of running, and tongues for the function of getting water or cleaning themselves or licking wounds.
I see that word function is on there 3 times and in a different color.
Yeah.
It must be important.
I did the leopard picture for the teeth. Look at those teeth.
Yeah.
What do you think those teeth help that animal eat?
Probably, it's definitely not an herbivore with those teeth.
That has really sharp teeth, so it must be a meat eater. And then look at the legs on the ostrich. I bet that ostrich can run really far.
Really fast.
Those are some long legs. And then look at the legs on the little crustacean of some kind.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a hard outer shell, segmented body, and several pairs of legs.
Pretty cool, huh?
So that word function must mean teeth for the function of eating. I use my teeth to eat.
Like the action of.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Plants have no teeth or legs, but they have roots to get water from underground and leaves to collect energy from sunlight. And I just thought this was a really cool picture.
It really is.
Look at those roots. They've had to travel to where they can get water.
Wow.
Isn't that neat? Yes, Mr. Kevin?
Those are called banyan vines.
I learned something new.
Banyan vines.
Banyan vines. How did you know that, Mr. Kevin?
Because I've seen those trees before where the roots are exposed like that at the bottom, and they're called banyan trees.
Oh, that's really cool. There's that energy from the sunlight
I
thing
was
again.
just thinking, we know that that's called
Photosynthesis. However, the important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need. The important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need. Both plants and animals are organisms, and they need food to stay alive.
Wow, look at how different all of those organisms are.
Yes. Pretty amazing. One's like a little fern spindle, one is fungus. It needs energy and food to survive. And then the tree frog, and the plants, and the spider, and the koala, they all need different things. Biologists classify plants into kingdom Plantae. Oh, Plantae, pronounced plan-T. Everyone say that with me. Plan-T. Say kingdom Plantae.
Kingdom Plantae.
That's just some plants. Lots of different kinds.
I like how the author included that to tell us how to pronounce that word.
Me too.
Because otherwise I would have said plantae.
Yep, me too. Plants make their own food through photosynthesis, using external root structures to collect water and nutrients from the soil, and external leaf structures to absorb energy from the sunlight. So it looks like the sunlight, the energy of the light goes into the leaves, and there's carbon dioxide and oxygen and chlorophyll. Then a sugar is formed and there's water. It all works together.
It does. It's its own little system, isn't it?
It is. That's pretty interesting. Biologists classify animals into kingdom Animalia. Most animals are either vertebrates with a backbone, like that kangaroo, that Komodo dragon, the tiger, or invertebrates, no backbone, like the fish. Some fish have backbones. Just depends. Animals need external structures to find or catch their food. Here are some other examples of invertebrates. prawns.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay. Prawns, jellyfish, snails, sea urchins, flies, squid, sea stars, a cockroach, spiders, earthworms.
So neat.
However, the important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures, that help them get what they need. The important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures, that help them get what they need. Animals with sharp tooth structures usually eat other animals. They're carnivores. The sharp teeth function for ripping and tearing meat. Examples of carnivores are tigers and snakes. Take a look at those teeth.
They have sharp teeth.
Those are some sharp teeth. That snake has some fangs that I would not want to touch.
No, thank you.
Woo! And they rip other animals apart to eat. That's just the way, that's what we use our canine teeth for when we eat meat. Animals with flat tooth structures usually eat plants. They're herbivores. The flat teeth function for grinding food. Examples of herbivores include cows, horses, jackrabbits, and caterpillars.
Wow. So thinking back to mammals being herbivores, a caterpillar is not a mammal.
So I don't think it's only mammals.
Okay.
And I know caterpillars only eat plants. And I first learned that in the book. Oh, what's the title of that
The Very
book?
Hungry
The Very
Caterpillar.
Hungry Caterpillar. Oliver loves, he reads it over and over and over. He loves that book.
Oh,
Animals with both sharp and flat tooth structures eat both plants and animals. They're omnivores. The sharp teeth and flat teeth function for ripping, tearing, and grinding food. Examples of omnivores include raccoons, bears, and robins.
robins?
Yeah, the inside, because their beak is sharp. Think about a robin. It eats like a mouse and it eats seeds.
Wow.
And they have the
Yes.
flat structure inside.
Never thought of that.
They use the beak to tear it apart and then the flat structures to grind it.
Wow. That raccoon looks vicious.
Yeah, they do look vicious, don't they? I think they're supposed to, I think we feel that way for a reason because we're another animal they could eat.
Right?
However, the important thing about animals, try that again. However, the important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways.
They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need.
The important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need. I wonder which one we're going to talk about now.
I know.
You ready? Oh. Humans are animals and have both flat and sharp teeth. So they are omnivores. Now, the interesting thing is those teeth all look flat to me. But we do have canine teeth. But sometimes humans in their sleep grind their teeth. I have very flat teeth. Because I grind my teeth at night and I've flattened my canines.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oops.
You can
All
still
in
eat.
all, that looks like a decent set of choppers.
That's
Yeah, it
right, it
does.
sure does, doesn't it?
Healthy.
Some humans choose to eat only plant-based foods. They are vegetarians or vegans. So they decide that they don't want to eat meat and they get all their nutrients just from plants. But it takes us knowing what plants provide what nutrients.
Yes.
Sharp teeth are structures for tearing food into smaller parts. Their function is to cut or puncture food before swallowing it. Flat teeth are structures for grinding and chewing food. Their function is to smash and soften food before swallowing it. Like I think about when I eat, I use my front teeth to like tear the food off, and then I didn't even realize I did it, but then I push it to the back teeth and grind it up and then swallow it.
Yes. So this is one of our external structures that helps us get what we need.
Yeah.
Is our teeth.
Tear, grind, swallow.
Wow.
I think about a horse, they just stick it in, they just chomp, they just grind. They don't do any of the tearing.
Yeah. I wonder what the important thing about plants and animals is.
I wonder if our first graders could tell us. However, the important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need. Oh, did I miss one? No.
No, I don't think so.
The important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need. Okay. Birds are animals with an external structure called a beak or a bill that functions to bring food and water into the bird's mouth. The shape of a bird's beak or bill is a structure to function in specific habitat or environment. So take a look at these different birds. One of them has kind of a flat bill. One of them has a pointy, like curved beak.
Yes.
One's just you can see its teeth in there. Do you see it? The one on the right, on the bottom, you can see the little tiny teeth.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's like very triangular. And the other ones are like super pointy. They all function in different ways.
They do. Mr. Kevin.
Yes, I noticed that there's not a doctor bird pictured here.
A doctor bird.
A doctor bird, yeah. They have really big bills.
I'll have to find one. I'm gonna look one up.
Curious.
Our next lesson, I'll find it.
Yes.
Oh, really big bills.
Oh, Mr. Kevin.
Mr. Kevin.
We were fully gonna Google Dr. Bill or Dr. Bird.
Doctor bird.
First graders, Mr. Kevin was making a joke. He was saying doctors cost lots of money.
Like a bill. Like when you go to the doctor and you have to pay for it.
Some people don't, but some people do, and it can be expensive. Mr. Kevin, right over my head.
No.
Birds in estuaries, like sandhill cranes, have long beaks to be able to dig deep in the muddy bottom and suck out invertebrates and aquatic plants to eat. Oh. Yeah, that external structure is no match for that bird, is it?
They also have really long legs.
They do. Look at that. It's a very interesting looking bird. I wonder if those legs help them be balanced to dig in the mud.
Oh.
Maybe. Or be able to walk through deep water. Birds in the forest, like woodpeckers, have short, hard beaks to be able to drill a hole in a tree trunk, to be able to build a nest inside the tree as a safe place to sleep. And we saw something like that at Point Defiance Park.
We did.
However, the important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures, that help them get what they need. The important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures, to help them get what they need. Plants and animals need water to survive. Plants have root structures that function by going down into the soil, then water and nutrients travel up through the roots into the stem, which carries nutrients and water to the leaves and flower. That top picture on the left is really cool. Mr. Kevin?
Yes.
Do you notice what it did?
I noticed because that happened to me at my house.
It did. Yeah.
The roots got inside the pipe that carries our water, our wastewater to the sewer. And that's what mine looked like.
It was
Oh my
looking for
goodness.
water.
It was.
Yeah.
In all the wrong places.
In all the wrong places. Look at all those different root structures. They all look very
They
different.
do, but they have the same function.
Yep. Just depends on how the plant needs it. Many animals, like humans, have tongue structures that function to lap up water into the mouth, down the throat, to the stomach. Look at all those different tongues.
Oh my goodness. Look
I
at
love that
koala.
blue one, the koala's little
Yeah.
tiny tongue. That giraffe's really long tongue. It also functions to help it eat. It pulls plants off of the trees.
So I wonder if the texture of the giraffe's tongue is different to help it grip.
I bet it
and
is.
pull.
However, the important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need. The important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need. Animals have external structures that perceive the world and function to process information. These structures are related to the 5 senses: hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and touching. These structures function to help animals grow and survive. So this is a picture of a baby panda, a youth panda, and an adult panda at the different stages of their life.
Oh, is it all the same panda?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I wish it was. I tried to find something that was like that, but I
Yeah.
couldn't find it.
Aw.
But you can see how it has the same structures. They just look a little bit different depending on its age. Plants also have structures that respond to some external inputs, such as slowly, almost imperceptibly, which means you can't see it, moving toward a source of light. Now, this is a time-lapse video, so it's taken over a long time and sped up so we could watch this phenomena happen. Let's see if it works. It should. It's embedded in. I wish we could have music. It's not. I don't know what that music is, Mr. Kevin.
Pardon?
Weird.
It had some music, but no.
Yeah,
movement.
that was weird.
Yeah.
Would you go ahead and turn that sound down, Mr. Kevin? We don't need sound on it. It didn't have sound on my computer.
All right, I certainly will.
Aha, there we go.
Got it.
Okay, go ahead and watch, friends. Watch what happens. Isn't that cool?
That is so neat.
That plant was moving to get to the sunlight.
Yeah.
So it could have photosynthesis.
Yes.
However, the important thing about plants and animals is they meet their needs in different ways. They have body parts we can see, external structures that help them get what they need.
Huh.
So how do animals use the structures and elements to survive? I think we answered that question in this book.
Several times.
So your job is to write one sentence about how you think animals survive. How do they use those structures to survive? Think about one of the things we learned about today. And you might write, Mr. Kevin, can you show my whiteboard?
Yes.
You could write animals survive by using their teeth to chew, their tongues to drink water, their roots to suck up water. There's lots of options.
Lots of options. You could even get more specific and talk about like the shape of the teeth,
You could.
or for plants, how the roots, different roots.
You could add a
different.
second sentence and go into more detail about how that animal, you could even say, horses
Oh,
survive by, or plants survive by. You have lots of choices. Mr. Kevin, if they do that,
how can they send it to us here at our TV classroom?
Well, ask your adult to help you send an email if you need help. You may not, and that's just fine. You can send it to tvclassroom@tacoma.k12.wa.us on your TPS provided laptop. Or You know, right next to us is Wright Park, a beautiful place to see a lot of nature and trees and roots and everything. Well, we're just down the street at 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405. We'd love to see a letter from you.
It's my favorite.
Yep.
Now it's time for our affirmation. This is when we get to say positive things about ourselves before we go off to do our independent work. Or maybe you're going to go outside and play and make some observations about nature and the world around you.
That would be a great idea.
I think so. Today, our affirmation is, I am a strong writer, because you're about to go do some really strong writing.
Yes.
Take a deep breath and say our affirmation.
I am a strong writer.
Excellent job today, first graders. We hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yep.
And we look forward to seeing you back here next time in our TV classroom.
Bye, first graders.
Rules. 1. You have 10 seconds to pick your crewmate. 2. A new timer will appear with an exercise for the crewmate you picked. 3. You will get points for each correct crewmate and exercise you choose. 4. You will get bonus points if you pick the leprechaun. 5. If you pick the imposter, you will lose all your points. 6. Use your math skills to see how many points you can get. Good luck!